go.
What is going on, everybody?
Welcome to episode 2 of Real Talk.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So we had episode 1. We have episode 1 up on my Facebook. I don't know if this is streaming on my Facebook or on Rob's or whatever.
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so it's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. To episode 2 of Real Talk. Again, episode 1 is on my Facebook if you want to check it out. Last episode we talked about different things like how we met and
all that crazy stuff,
and then the crazy stuff that happened with school dances and crazy shit that happened, which was hilarious. Also we covered school fights last episode.
Pretty much, we just covered everything that happened in school.
Apparently, his brother. If you didn't see what happened, or on episode 1, apparently his brother saw some argument about spaghetti and then spaghetti getting thrown.
Yeah, when I looked at it, and said, "Dude, like
how do you start
can't be serious?"
Then use the thing that you're. Here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing.
Why?
You start a fight about spaghetti, and then you use the thing you're fighting about as a weapon.
I'm thinking myself, like, why? Like, that kind of makes me question, like,
that's like a wrestler. That's like a wrestler in wrestling fighting over like a steel chair, and then the steel chair gets thrown. What the hell?
I'm not like literally. I just shook my head. So it's like I thought I saw some stupid shit this year, but back then, holy crap.
Bro, like it wasn't even us that saw it. It was your brother that saw it.
Over spaghetti.
Which makes it funny.
Why?
It was funny.
It is spaghetti.
Over spaghetti. And then you use spaghetti as a weapon because you're fighting over spaghetti.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. So,
but anyway, episode 2 is going to be about how we joined sports this time. My side of the story is kind of like heartwarming, kind of inspiring type of shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But let's just get into it. How in the hell did you join sports, brother?
Sports? Did you go all Bugs? Did you get all Bugs Bunny on me?
Accidental. What's funny? Yeah, hey Rob. Hey Rob, I got a question for you.
What's that?
What's up, Doc?
But yeah, the funny thing is how I played many sports over my entire life. Oh boy, where do I begin?
But mainly yours was like baseball.
I started with t-ball for a little bit up here for the Gloucester T-ball league, which probably I don't know if it's still around anymore like it used to. Then
t-ball. I would assume it's still around. T-ball.
Yeah, well, and then also, and I had a bit of a break in between for about a decade. Yes, trust me, I know it's fucking crazy because I had to move down south for a long time. I played a little football with the where I used to live at. Even though the summers are fucking brutal down there, but it was. I mean, I could care less about it. But as soon as I came right back up, I think it was just like 2011, pre 2012. This is pre freshman year.
I think you came in 2010 because we met in 2010.
I came back in 2010, and obviously, did try to go for my city's little league, which is crazy enough. And I did tell us. I don't think I've already told this side of this, and I shared this a lot on social media. Yeah, I got kicked. I got pretty much got transferred out of Gloucester and playing for Mount Ephraim Little League. So, and ever since then, and trust me, that fucking shit sucked. So it's like, so I couldn't play for my town. So, so I got transferred out. Pretty much
got traded as a kid.
Pretty much the way you looked at it.
You got traded as a kid. Damn.
Oh yeah, trust me. And the funny thing is too, my first year in Mount Ephraim Little League, we faced against Gloucester, and unfortunately we got our ass whooped because our team was got hot garbage. So I will admit that. And it's
what brother did you face of mine? Because I had two brothers that played in Gloucester.
This is
you probably got your shit rocked by both of them. Probably.
I don't, because this is way before I met you, so I couldn't, I do not know who was on that Gloucester Little League team.
Yeah, this was like before, like because we met like midway through.
Yeah. Oh, junior high, almost before, and at the beginning of freshman year. And our first win, which is it's kind of sad if you think about it. Our first win didn't come towards the end of the season via the forfeit by one team. So pretty much we sucked. We pretty much went.
You pretty much were the Browns Little League.
Pretty much we pretty much played like the Cleveland Browns. Basically, we were, or not just that, or the Bad News Bears. It's basically we were terrible.
Nah, you know what would have been funny if it was the Bad News Bears and there was legit a guy in a wheelchair that played with you.
Yeah, even though my sense of humor. Yeah, trying to. Oh God, I'm trying. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to laugh. I got such a dark sense of humor.
Drag each other to God.
I'm sorry. That's just
goddamn hell.
He's a baseball player in a wheelchair.
That was really no. You know what's funny?
Oh,
they made that joke. They made that joke in the remake of the movie. It was funny as shit.
God. I'm sorry. I got just such a fucked up sense of humor.
Bro, I watched fucking South Park, bro. That's nothing, bro.
Let me get to one quick super chat. So honestly, oh God. Oh Jesus.
He deserves it. But we'll talk about that on one of our sports podcasts.
Drag me down to hell with a baseball player in a wheelchair.
Bro, I wasn't dragging you to hell. That wasn't the remake of the freaking Bad News Bears, bro.
But
legit. That's not me dragging hell. That's the movie creators dragging you to hell.
But I think after that, we go into our next couple of years. We had to go through a couple of coaching changes and stuff like that. Different, player changes. 2011, actually, this was before I started my freshman year of high school. We actually had a really good year in 2011, early. Actually, this is beginning of 2012, actually, because 2011 we were okay. We were trying to find our identity. So 2012 comes around. Actually, no, that's right. This was 2011. I'm got it. I've been doing this baseball since 2011. So do the math as you will. But yeah, so we went over with a better coach, had changed up the players around. I actually had a really good year and just fell short of the playoffs by 2 runs. Actually, funny enough, we actually lost to Stratford and I remember, that we had another good year after that. As freshman year started, tried out, not tried out, but went for the freshman or the freshman baseball program at Gloucester High at the time, which was actually not bad, but just wasn't really what you would expect. I mean, trust me. I mean, that 1 year I led the league, or that my team had hit by pitches because, I'm big. I'm a big target, basically. But I think overall, and that's when even there's some negative spots in between in my career. What's good, Coach Ed? But yeah, there's a few times that I tend to want to forget. There's some moments that I would want to forget. Obviously, my sophomore year of high school, that's the one obvious moment I want to forget because I had the yips that year, and also had literally a fatigued arm, so pretty much a dead arm, basically.
That happens to everybody. I don't know why. It's like these pitchers, they pitch tremendously, and then like the 1 year in their career, they get the yips, and then they just don't know how to pitch.
Well, for me, what happened was I actually me and my grandfather threw a lot almost every single day, and pretty much literally threw out my arm.
Yeah, just killed your arm.
Literally, it fatigued out my arm. Literally, it didn't hurt, but it just felt tired. It was not strong, basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was the yips. It's more so like the arm strength wasn't there.
Yeah, the arm strength wasn't there, so pretty much I had a fatigue.
Now with the yips, it's like your arm strength's there and stuff like that, but the mechanics aren't there because you just forgot how to pitch.
And it's crazy, not too. And it's and I still remember this like just yesterday. I remember Jake Seibert's dad. I remember this clearly. This was before I made a how my career is now as a pitcher nowadays. But before I even got to start being a pitcher, I was told straight directly to my face, said, I was not going to make it, literally by his dad at the time. And I was pissed. I didn't know how to react to it. So I'm the kind of person that says, you know what? I didn't really say nothing about it, but I let my action show for it. Later in my career, had almost said 4 no-nos.
I think that was the point of those words, was that he wanted to fire you up.
Pretty much.
He wanted to piss you off.
But at that time, I didn't know how to react to it as a kid, though. I was about 12, 13 years old. So I didn't know how to react to that at the time. So since then, I almost had flirted with 4 no-nos and 2 perfect games, which still kind of sucks, but I mean, had a complete couple.
4 no-hitters and 2 perfect games is nothing to freaking sniff at.
That's trust me, that shit's, it's not easy. I will say that you got to be at the top of your game in order to do that. So trust me.
Yeah, plus, when it rides on you mentally, you're like in the later innings, you're like, oh shit.
And I've lost. It's funny enough because I actually lost my no-nos, my no-hitters, and the perfect games all in the 6th fucking inning, which is kind of coincidental. Even my junior.
Because you're starting to get in like the later innings, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
It's not for me it's funny enough because every time I get in the later innings, if I'm feeling good, like I don't really panic. That's the crazy part. I don't really panic at the size of, I'm going to get a perfect game and whatnot. So I'm just doing what just pitch to my strengths. I mean, look, they break it up. The shit happens. It's whatever. It's like I'm not really going to move on from that. I mean, shit. Junior year of high school. Came back stronger, and let's be both, not just mentally, but also physically. Even though I'm still big at the time, but my arm strength was a lot stronger than it used to be. From my both compare, even more stronger than my freshman year as well. Had Pittman, I think was one of my best games that I pitched. Had 13. I had 11. It's funny, because me and Bob Trajane were actually going at it, even though he was pitching at the varsity level. We're 2 strikeouts apart. He had 13. I had 11 at the JV level.
Bro, and I remember that little duel you guys had.
Yeah,
and it was like all over Facebook and stuff like that on like the sports thing. And it was you and Bobby just going at it.
It was just a coincidence. It's a coincidental thing he had that we were doing. So.
You guys were literally the top 2 pitchers that year.
Yeah, especially at Gloucester High, because and then that leads to senior year, which before my senior year started, it's like as soon as senior year started, that school year, I think it was 2016, I think it was 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. When I realized that I was going to be senior, it's like, well, I knew my career was going to take a bit of a hit, knowing that I had to go up to varsity, which honestly was not the one thing I wanted to do, but I had to, and I had no other choice because I'm an upperclassman. The only time I ever went to was at JV when I was a junior in high school. And
yeah, this was like going up to the bigs, man. This was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's yeah. And when I realized I was going to be a varsity player, so it's like, well, shit. Like I had that realization. It's like, I had a realization, this is not gonna end well. And
funny, my shit rocked. Damn.
Funny enough, it's kind of sad to say, like I barely any solid time at the varsity level, anyways, other than being a pinch hitter, especially against Wildwood. And let's be real, I was fucking nervous as shit. But it was like a go ahead 2-out RBI. Actually 2-run single, if I remember correctly. And Wildwood was a higher seeding than we were, because we were the 16 seed. And
classic 116 thing. Oof.
Actually, it's funny enough, Haddon Heights was the number 1 seed in the state of New Jersey at that time. And
I thought they do like the typical 1 versus 16.
No, that was the following game afterwards, and we knocked out Haddon Heights.
Oh, damn, nice.
And funny enough, I was one of the 5 people to get fucking drug tests. Like, first of all, I haven't done seen shit. Why the hell you had to just single me out, motherfuckers? But
always pick too good drugs.
For me, and ever since then, even though sometimes I do, reflect, it's like what could have been, the fact that we lost in the second round, it's like shit. Now I know what I feel like a second round exit feels like. That shit fucking sucks. I will say that shit sucks. And especially at the last year as your high school of your high school careers, it's like that's not how I wanted I wanted that to end the way that it did. Which, let's be honest, it's like I said, it sucks, but it stung. And to be quite honest, back then, now I'm not the kind of person to hold a grudge nowadays. But back then, it's like, yeah, there was instances where I actually did want to hold a grudge against Galbraith for us to screw me over. And obviously it's funny because
that little beef that you had with the coach. Oh, damn,
I didn't really say much to him at the time. Like I'm not the kind of person who will say something, like what the fuck. So I'm not that. I just there were times where I've actually protested in silence, and at times when I didn't play because I got benched because I was protesting. Hey, look, I want to try to get my point across. Because it's like I'm at the points where, well, not nowadays, but back then, I had to deal with these batshit politicking, shall we say?
The whole
It's
politicking bullshit that happens,
and the cliques and shit like that. It's
I also seen it happen in high school sports, like and stuff like that. Like all these sports documentaries about high school sports. You see a lot of politicking going on, and I think that's complete bullshit.
Trust me, I've been on the short end of the stick of that since my senior year of high school.
Yeah, just because you want to see like a high school team win champion, like, dude, it's not even that serious. It's high school sports. You're acting it's like you're acting as a coach. You're acting like it's a big deal to like win a championship for high school. Like, it's not a big deal. It's high school sports.
And the way I look at it,
hold on. You're acting like it's like these coaches. You're acting like it's pro sports. It's not.
It really isn't. But like I was saying, because I mean, I've been on the short end of that stick so many times, not just at the high school level, even at the little league level too. Like I said, brings back to what I said before, like how I got when I tried my best for the Gloucester Little League, and unfortunately got traded to Mount Ephraim, and I had my best years as a Mount Ephraim Little Leaguer, even though it's funny enough because I live in Gloucester pretty much. So
a completely different town.
Yeah, I had my best years there. I think I almost had 3 home runs that year, if I'm right. And this was before the BB Core standard was still a thing. So we actually used actual aluminum bats back in the day too. So, and it's funny too. It's like I'm not the kind of person that would say, I would quit, but it got to the point in my senior year, I actually did want to quit actually because I didn't feel like I would belong there. I tell people this all the time. I've always been a JV player through it from freshman all the way to senior year. Should have been a JV player.
Now, I remember you actually talking to me in high school, senior year. You texted me because I had moved to a different school, and you're like, "Man, I'm having a tough time."
Mm-hmm.
You were like, "I'm contemplating quitting this varsity thing." I'm like, because I'm having issues with this coach, and I'm like, dude, if you want to do that, do that.
But I mean, then again, my brain tells me, this is not the kind of person who you are. So, I pretty much wrote it out as much as I could.
Yeah, your brain was telling you, dude, you're a competitor, don't quit. But your heart was telling you, but your heart was sitting there saying, dude, this coach is
I was pretty much in the way down in the dumps, basically. Like my heart was broken because this is the one sport I've loved for years. And obviously, and I even told my family about it. Yeah, they were pissed. Well, most of them were pissed. So, and it's funny enough because I'm still friends with Gavin Unitas to this day. And it's kind of ironic that I look back at his dad. Actually, because his dad was always one of my biggest supporters through even when I first came up to varsity. Like, he even surprised he got on Galbraith's ass, and actually play me. But Galbraith just blew him right off. So it's like, you know what? That's the one thing in my 10+ year career that's been eluding me for years is a fucking championship. And I'm looking at it, and I still got a lot of time, some good years left before I call it quits. And which I really don't want to call. But I mean, I've been doing this for a decade, for over a decade plus. I've had a couple stops in coaching. Um, for a couple of years, and still played. And it's like, yeah, I mean, and besides, if you go back throughout high school, there was a couple stops here and there where, even in junior high, I had, as a basketball manager, even though let's be real, I fucking hated it. And also did junior high soccer for a little bit as well. I mean, well, that's kind of, but you go through like grades 9 through 12, it's pretty much one sport, even though now to this day, I'm still kicking myself not playing football, which I'm still want to punch myself for not playing fucking football because of my size. But for some reason, I don't know what. It's funny enough because my brain was telling me about what drew me away.
Hold on a second, guys. This is a different stream, honestly. So we're not gonna talk about sports like that, like professional, like NHL or any other stuff. So the questions that you ask here about like the NHL or any pro sports will be on hold for a second. This is not the stream for it.
Oh yeah,
but we do appreciate those questions. But this is a stream where we just talk about personal stuff.
Oh yeah, because we don't really usually do this often, but
yeah, it's called Real Talk with us.
It's kind of a bit of a like a break in between.
Yeah, it's kind of like a break in between. So if you guys want to like talk about like personal stuff, that's fine. But like the pro sports stuff, that'll be on hold until we go back to our regularly scheduled stuff.
Yeah. Well, going back to what I was saying, because soccer actually really didn't mind it as much. I actually kind of enjoyed playing junior high soccer. I know it's kind of crazy for saying that, because even though soccer is never my biggest sport, but actually I had a lot of fun playing soccer as a 7th grader, which is
it's better to like play it than watch it, honestly.
Yeah,
because I tried to watch soccer one time. I think it was like a World Cup match back in like 2019 or something, or 2020.
Something like that.
2019. It was 2019. Bored me to death. I felt watching soccer.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, ever since then, I've done baseball throughout and great from my freshman year to my senior year, straight through and through. Even though would have been nice to actually wanted football, but the only thing that kept me away was the concussions and shit like that. I was like, what? Nah. That's pretty much where I pretty much just walked away from an opportunity to play football, because, brain injuries and, some of the injuries that might change the course of your life. And,
Oh, yeah, that definitely, like, for me, I feel like, watching football is a lot safer than playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously couldn't play for obvious reasons, but I really feel like, watching football is a lot safer.
It really is. And even to this day, I'm still playing in this. It's pretty much an amateur league at this point, with guys pretty much older than I am. It's just. But I mean, I'm still having fun with it, because I've always, as growing up, like I always wanted to play pro ball, and it got to the point where, to be quite honest, I've realized, yeah, this ain't fucking happening. So I pretty much gave up on it, and ever since then, I mean, I still had fun playing the game, but just having the dream to make millions is, well, it's not even possible at this point in because I'm 26 now. Most of the time you see like guys are making their debut at my age. And even watch the last few MLB drafts, actually, I'm excited to see what this new generation of players, but at the same time, I have a little bit of jealousy, because knowing that these kids are going to have an opportunity that, someone like me who will never get that opportunity. It's just one of those things I've realized in reality, shit happens. So I moved on from it and, just lived out the rest of my life as just a normal schmuck, basically. Your normal average Joe, basically, and shit like that. pretty
honestly,
much.
I like you better as a normal schmuck anyway.
I mean, shit. If I was making millions, I still won't take it away from that.
Nah, I
But
wouldn't
I
take it.
mean,
I
but
like,
it's just it
you're a
just really
rad
hurt.
dude. You're a rad dude as a normal schmuck. What are you talking about, boy?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I've always and look, yeah, shit. I will admit, yeah, giving up on you, the one dream I've always wanted to do, fucking sucks. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
it's hard. It's hard, man. You know, me growing up watching, football and wrestling. I'm like, I want to be a football player. I want to be a wrestler. And then that realization, like, dude, you have a tube in your head. Like, if that gets busted, you're dead.
and that's a good point. Yeah,
And that's what sucks, man. That's what sucks. It's like that when you realize that your dream is pretty much dead.
yeah. But I
It's like,
mean,
and then I started making new dreams. Like, oh, I want to talk football and wrestling and stuff like
and
that.
it's because it's funny enough because
Funny enough, that dream has actually been realized.
yeah, which is well, I mean, gotta get
And funny enough, it's with my best friend.
yeah. But and that's a good choice. That's a good point by Coach Egglet. Now, what you want to point out here, yeah. But they say if you could go back to play the game stuff and go full out, yeah, life is a gamble sometimes. You never know what you're gonna get. So I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah, I respect that too, because like I'm sure growing up, this coach wanted to be a football player. He wanted to be that tough dude that like knocks people over and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure he wanted to do that, but then he realized I could do other things along that same realm. I could coach a team.
Yeah, I mean
I could
Coach.
I could talk about the sport I love.
Oh,
and that's and
absolutely.
that's and that's how I was, growing up. And that's how Rob was too. He's like, he's doing Phillies streams, he's doing Phillies Talk podcasts, which he did earlier.
Yeah.
Plug that in. You guys can go watch the replay on our
Well, it's
channels.
just baseball talk in general. It's something that I've been around the game for a decade plus. Try to put my perspectives into things, and
Yeah,
at the same time, it's what I've grown to love for years and stuff like that. Then not gonna lie, I mean, I've seen the good, the bad, the downright ugly of the Philly teams over the years. Trust me, me
oh
Tyler,
my God, we've been through 10 years of ugly.
yeah, but
10 years of ugly,
that's
bro.
it's what I'm saying because like yeah, so all the other sports that I've played besides baseball throughout my entire with the stops with just junior high soccer and unfortunately being a basketball manager, even though well, that's real kind of regret. I mean, at that time, I feel like now I kind of regretted taking up on that position because I always thought I actually wanted to play. But unfortunately, that wasn't really the case for most of it because every time because pretty much I was basically in a way you could say almost a garbage time player when we're blowing people out like left and right.
Oh
That's
yeah, you're like that sixth, not that sixth man. You're like that 12th guy.
yeah, literally, I was pretty much like a reserve basically.
Bottom of the barrel,
Hmm.
freaking
Even
bench
though
player.
that's kind of like I'm not the kind of person to say like I'm terrible at something. Yeah, but I mean,
You're basically like 2022, 2023 Andre Iguodala.
yeah, pretty much in a way.
Barely seeing freaking playing time anymore.
To be honest, I never got and that's the sad part is I never got to participate in any of our basketball practices. The only thing I had to do was just carry a bag full of basketballs and the coach's clipboard and shit like that, and that's pretty much about it. You carry that in and be done and just leave. That's just basically what I want. That's pretty much.
Yeah, but I don't think basketball was for you anyway.
I
To be
gave it.
honest,
I have a
you
shell.
gave it your best effort, but it just wasn't enough. And
I mean, shit.
you
I got cut. I got cut from the high school basketball team when I gave it a shot. But I mean, it's just I feel like baseball because I want to try something different throughout the seasons. I mean, look, baseball. Let's bro. We got a long layoff from you got a long layoff from you got when football season starts, and you got a long layoff to like March and April for baseball season. So that's what I wanted to try something different at the time.
yeah, you
And
wanted to try different sports to keep yourself active, which I
yeah,
understand that for
and
sure.
it just like I said, it just wasn't enough to get it done. I was like, and it's crazy too, because and it's funny, not funny enough, but it's crazy enough that I still remember this. Ever since I got the news, I got cut. Look, that shit fucking sucked, and I had some people walked over like they knew something was up with me because like they knew I was upset about something. So I asked them, so look, I got cut. I mean, and shit like that. I try to give 100% because that's real. I can't fucking run worth a fucking damn because of my size. And it's I moved on from it, and ever since then, I've been sticking with the same sport for the last, 5, almost up to 10, almost let's be real, almost. I've been doing this game for almost close to 2 decades, which is crazy to believe that I've been doing this baseball for almost 20 years.
Yeah, and you're like doing the amateur thing now.
Well, because at the time, because it's funny how I found about this league, because I actually had a text from one of the managers in this league. Because after I turned 19, that's where a little bit of a halting point was. Because after I got done, because as soon as March 28th came around, when I turned 19, yeah, I couldn't do 18U ball because of my age, which fucking sucked. So I thought actually, at that time, I thought about retiring from the sport itself because of my age. So, but then I get, it's funny enough, that one of the managers that texted me from this league gave me an opportunity and wanted to play. So it was the opportunity I've been looking for, for about a few months. So, right now, yes, I mean, those guys, I will say those guys, well, they were a bunch of fucking assholes and now looking back at it, were a bunch of assholes, but at the time they were giving me the opportunity to play and stuff like that. But soon as year 2 came around in the spring, we started adding players late, and well, let's just say I've been not seeing a lot of the play sitting on the field. So in this men's league that I'm in currently, so I had to put in like a waiver or something like that in the free agency or the because we actually do a thing called when players don't have a team, they're called still free agents. So I did an opportunity. So I put that in and heard back from another team called the Colt 45s. If you know in MLB history, that's the previous name before they became the Houston Astros in the 60s. And I still have ever since then, this is my team. I've been for actually almost this is my 5th year with this team right now currently. And yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've been doing baseball ever since till whatever I decided to hang up the spikes for good.
My side of things is a little bit different. It's not as heavy on like the timeline or everything like that. Like yours, you have a whole laundry list of shit that you did.
Oh yeah, trust me.
I really never really had like a laundry list of shit when it comes to sports, because obviously I'm disabled. I can't play sports. But there is a really cool story I would love to tell. This was 2012. Yeah, it was 2012, 9th grade year, and the seniors, or not the seniors, the freshmen. Excuse me, I had like a phlegm issue. Freshman year, yeah, like a mandatory like meeting, start school year, shit like that, and it was like fronted by the football coach. This meeting, it was like an assembly type meeting. You remember that meeting, right, Rob?
Oh yeah.
That assembly. It was like a sports assembly extracurricular thing.
Oh yeah, that's like almost like an everyday thing for all sports.
But it wasn't. But here's the thing: it was for freshmen. It wasn't for like underclass. It was for like, okay, now you guys can join varsity sports. You can do this. You can do that. Right? Hand goes up. I asked the coach. It was the football coach at the time. Nicest dude ever, right? And I am forever indebted to what he did and said, right?
Oh yeah.
I asked him, I'm disabled. What the hell can I do to well, I didn't say what the hell. I said, what can I do to join a sport? I don't have to play because I can't play. But I would like to join a sport, feel a part of the team. This man looks me square in the face. With a stern ass voice, he goes, come see me. right? I go,
Yeah.
okay. Later that day, I was like during lunch, I asked you. You were like, yeah, buddy.
I take it
I
up,
asked,
man.
I asked you, can we go to Coach's office? Because I want to talk to him. Because he told me flat out, come see me. And I go, and you go, okay. We went to the coach's office and we talked it out. He goes, if now I know you have limitations of like travel, stuff like that. We travel like to different parts of the state, and for the away games. And he goes, now here's the plan that I was thinking of, right? He goes, you can go to the home games. Can't go to the away games because obviously, your situation. He goes, you can go to all the home games. You don't have to go to the practices because obviously you can't play, so you don't have to practice. But you can go to all the home games, sit on the sideline, root on the team. What I didn't know is what he also had planned, right? So I'm like, all right, I accept. I go to my next class, which was math class, right? Little did I know this man had a jersey waiting for me. Little did I know this guy was going to give me a jersey. So he had the nurse. I hear knocking on the door. It was during math class. I think you were in that class
I remember.
And the nurse goes, and she has it behind her back. She was wanting to surprise me as well. The coach was wanting to surprise me. She goes, here you go. I go, holy shit. Like my mind goes, holy shit. And then I don't know if anybody else was in it, but freaking whole classroom was freaking applauding.
Yeah, that's
and I'm great. Like, holy shit. I'm like, and then, that was an awesome moment. I was a part of the team at that point. I went to all the home games. After every score, high five, high five, high five. I was giving them water. I was making sure they're okay with their injuries, their injury timeouts. And I was like talking to the doctors, making sure they were okay. Yeah. I'm like, is this dude okay? Because he's got such and such that happened. He broke his leg, he broke his arm, whatever. And I make sure that people are okay. I root on the team. I entertain the crowd a little bit because I was cocky about it a little bit. Entertain the crowd. But I am forever indebted with that coach for doing what he did. That was awesome. That little experience that I had, really, really cool. But also, what's up, Jono?
What up?
After high school, right? This isn't over with this. After high school, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he goes, we kind of need help with coaching. Are you in? I'm like, okay, all right, I'm in. It was like a youth football team in Gloucester, and that was a really cool moment too. I got to coach a team as well. So not only was I a part of a team in high school, I was a part of a team in my adult life, which I never thought that was possible.
Yeah,
because growing up, I'm thinking, I'm watching football. That dream's dead.
Yeah.
I did have high aspirations of like, oh, I want to coach a football, an NFL team. That was a bar that was too high to reach.
Yeah,
let's be honest. That was too high to reach that.
I think we both kind of made that mistake of setting the bar way too high for ourselves.
We set the bar way too fucking high.
But then again, as kids,
I set the bar way too freaking high.
Then again,
you have to have like college, credit, like credentials and other like coaching credentials and stuff.
Yeah,
I wasn't getting there. I was not getting there. But that little story about me joining, that football team in 2012 was the fact that if you have a question, if you're like disabled or if you're, you know, wanting to join a team, don't be hesitant to ask.
I mean, if an opportunity
Because
comes,
at the end of the day, there are some coaches out there that are like just so freaking cool,
yeah.
so awesome, and they'll find a way to help you with shit,
Oh
right?
yeah. I mean, shit. That's the one thing that I've learned. When I used to coach 12-year-olds, because now some of these 12-year-olds used to coach now are graduating high school. It's like, man, I'm getting fucking old. My nephew John already graduated high school. This Cody, he graduated. Some of the kids that I've coached on a 12-year-old girls for city brawlers team, which is our travel ball team here in town, they're all
And
graduated high
also,
school.
yeah, let's go ahead and keep going.
As soon as they saw the graduation, it's like, damn, what the
Dude,
hell? They were just
dude,
small 6 years ago.
bro, it was like, bro, it's crazy. It's like you're seeing kids at like 12 in 2012 graduate high school, like, or actually like 10 in 2012 or whatever, graduate high school.
I mean,
Like,
take it
what
from
the
us.
hell? But
This month marks it 7 years since we've been out of high
yeah,
school.
this month, yeah, like a few days, it was like 2 days ago or yesterday or whatever. Marked like 7 years of me graduating high school. I'm like, holy shit.
Like, yeah,
And that's also a cool moment. What I did at my graduation, I will tell that story episodes ahead. But
and it's just like I've learned it. And I like saying, see, the thing just too, the difference between me and Tyra. For me, I had to go all through the trials and tribulations of not just a player, but even learn how to coach as well. So I had to learn a lot of different things of what to do and stuff like that.
I mean, for me though, like I had to learn some shit too.
Oh yeah,
I had to learn how to like be a good teammate. I had to learn how to like the coach really taught me in that like little instance. It's like don't hesitate to ask a freaking question when you're like having
yeah,
having having like if you have something on your mind, just don't have hesitate to ask the question.
just ask it. I mean, shit.
Like like that whole assembly whatever was like why am I here? Like I'm a
Like
disabled
you
kid.
question
I
yourself, like,
can't
why are you here? That
like
kind
why
of
am I
thing.
no like yeah like why am I here? Like I can't play sports. I'm disabled. But I
Because
had that
usually,
I asked that question to the coach, and he was like, "You're on the team, but you can be on the sideline." I'm like, "Okay,
yeah, it's
okay,
sometimes
cool."
it's the little things. It's crazy too. Like
It's the little things, man. That's his
little shit.
mentality too. It's the little things, bro. Like
And there's
if
a
you,
lot of times too, even at to this point in my life, it means as a current player, I go back to the fields that I remember playing. I mean, go back to Mount Ephraim, but that there's a field right behind the Black Horse Diner in Mount Ephraim, right by the car wash, and I remember always going there all the time, not just as a player, but go back just to visit and reminisce some of the good times. I mean, even though it's been a while since I took care of the damn thing, but it's for me, it's like Tyler said, sometimes look, I know Tyler had a bit of a shorter route to being a coach, which we had our own different paths.
I just got asked to help coach a team, and I said yes, and I just
Like for me, I had to deal with and Tyler wasn't disabled. I mean, I wish people would understand what I had to fucking go through, not just as a
oh
player.
you had to go through a hell of a lot.
Like I tell people this a lot of times too. Like I've been through, not figuratively speaking, been through hell. Was being through the politicking.
Do you know what you've been through? You've been through some grade A bullshit. That's what you
Yeah,
went through.
trust me, and it got to and there was times where I want to quit the sport that I actually enjoy, and it's crazy enough. If I actually did finally go through with it, yeah, it's like I didn't know what to do with the rest of my life pretty much after since then. And sometimes I look back, not just my senior year, but after graduating high school, because I actually got a varsity letter, and I think to myself, did I really even earn this? Like, it feels like it was just given to me because I was a varsity player. Like, did I really truly deserve to? Did I earn the varsity letter? I was questioning myself that because minus that one start against Clayton, that was pretty much the only time I saw any time at all. Not just hitting or pitching, and just pitching wise at the varsity level. Hitting wise, I think it come towards later in the season, and ever since
I
then,
think didn't you quit varsity?
I had I had thoughts of quitting, or just was asked to get sent back or get demoted in a sense back to JV, because that's where my heart truly lied with Gloucester High Baseball, was at the JV level. I've always thought that way, because for me, I was never was in the mindset, being a varsity player, because no one going up to varsity, I knew I was going to be a bench warmer for most of the year. And it turned out to be, it turned out my brain was telling me I was right. What I was originally thinking. It's just like,
Honestly, when you told me about all the shit that you went through that year, that legit pissed me off.
Like,
I'm like, this dude is better than what you're fucking saying that he is. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, you thought that was worse. Try to get cut from the community college baseball program 3 times.
That pissed me off too. I'm like, dude, I'm like, keep trying. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I'm sitting there about like the 3rd, 4th try. I'm like, dude, at this point, don't even give them the freaking benefit, bro.
I mean, look, I graduated Rowan College at May 2019. Yes, I know. For those who are asking why I spent 3 years there, because it's the credit wise, because certain community colleges have different credit systems. I didn't had enough for 2 years, so pretty much I guess you could say do 2.5. Going into 2019 that year, but 2019 was the last time I tried out for Rowan College. Because and this is what kind of Tyler alluded to. Like, you originally make the team, then you start going through the cuts and shit like that. And unfortunately, I got on the short end of the stick 3 times, and I've realized, yeah, maybe college ball isn't for me. Because I've never really been, and see, that's the kind of the downside of it for me being a late bloomer that I truly am, because I didn't start till I was like 12, 13 years old. People are, if I would continue to play, yeah, maybe shit would have been a little bit different, but life happens. So I had been changes in life, and leaving in the South for over a decade kind of put a halt on things. So ever since then, I was kind of far behind not in a way, but in a way of development, than anybody else in terms of, I mean, shit, I've seen 16-year-olds or kids or even 12-year-olds, and they used to coach, were up to what feels like up to 80 miles an hour from like 60 feet. It's like you'd be surprised kids are built differently than what I had to go through.
Bro, I see a lot of lowly freaking World Series. I'm like, holy shit.
So for me, when I used to do Little League, I never got a chance to experience that, because it's funny, when I first got into Little League, I had to be accustomed to using 90-foot base paths and pitching from a mound from 60 feet 6 inches. So I had to do it. I did do it the old hard fashioned way, and learn to play the big field hard.
And here's the thing: 60 feet 6 inches. That's freaking major league.
That's kind of the standard. Not just
that's major league. That's major league standard. 60 feet 6 inches.
That's been a standard for throughout all levels, basically.
And
I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, but the fact that we have seen the kids that are in the Little League World Series, it's like, I sometimes I wonder what just get that experience, to play at the Little League World Series and Williamsport and shit like that. But then again, my Little League, because we weren't even that good enough to be part of that anyway. So I mean, it's whatever. Like I said, I'm not really was too upset about it, but sometimes I do really do wonder
you have that what if scenario in your head.
I've always had like what if scenarios in the back of my head most of the time. Like what if
What if this happened? What if that happened? What if
like
this
I
happened?
try to play out situations where like how they can see in movies where people turn back the time or like if there's an alternate timelines. That's how I try to play it out in my head. Like what could have say what could have if I helped like see if I could have done. If I wasn't a bench warmer, maybe I could have helped this team to a championship. Finally, added because let's be real, I've been out with that's been the one thing I've been chasing for years is to win a fucking title in my career, and ever since it's the closest we ever got was a couple years ago actually, and it just we fell short.
That was me like growing up and stuff. Like, what if this happened? What if that happened? Like a lot of people have like these what if scenarios, man.
It's like because yes, I know sports is all about sometimes. I mean, you got. I mean, look, not just for politicking, but also to have to deal with people having favoritism. Trust me, I thought you
Oh
thought
yeah, the
politics
favoritism
the
bullshit.
favoritism. I've been on the short end of the
That
stick
freaking happens in sports freaking constantly, and that also pisses me off.
because it's like because for me, I try to put in the work as much as I can at this point because I mean, look, I also have a full-time fucking job. Like it's, but then again, with this amateur league, everyone gets a chance to play pretty much. So I
Oh yeah,
mean,
there was not one time that I didn't see like a person not getting that back. Every single person did.
and
Every
entirely,
single
you see,
you seen like a freaking right fielder come in the pitch.
I mean, trust me, we like you'd be surprised. Tyler, you've been in a few of my games the last few years.
Yeah.
Know how my team operates.
Yep. I've seen it.
Because at times we'll have one guy sit an inning, have another guy play out there. Like we'll mix and match each and every inning because that's what we do. And giving a chance for everybody.
And
Something.
the thing is, with the way this works, honestly, you guys don't take shit serious.
I mean, we just throw away back.
Y'all just have fun with the shit.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of that's our identity, was just have fun and not just take shit seriously. I mean that's a lot of times. I mean, and trust me,
there's been a few serious moments, but the problem was when the other team starts chirping.
Oh, you'll trust me. Well, that's to be a different story.
Like, bro, you guys taking this shit too serious. Now you're making us take the shit.
There was a lot of times where we actually took advantage of. We had to play a couple teams a couple years ago. Actually, they were actually the Rossi Phillies because we had actually two Philly teams that were called the Phillies at the time. We got Franklinville, which is a little bit farther north from us. And you also had the Rossi Phillies who played. They were a bunch of fucking assholes anyway. So
the ones that played like the freaking Phillies or some shit. They were arguing balls and strikes. I'm like,
that was the Rossi Phillies. That they always find a way to chirp at shit.
I'm like, dude, you guys are arguing balls and strikes in an amateur league.
And Tyler, to be honest with that, I had to deal with that shit for two full years with them before I moved on to the Colt 45s.
Oh my god, I'm like, dude, you guys are arguing balls and goddamn strikes.
But besides that, I mean, and I've also realized, and trust me, I think what took me the hardest. Look, I thought the second round exit was the hardest in my high school year, but 3 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, we played against the Expos. I think it was in the second round before we went on it was the second round before the championship. And unfortunately, I made one crucial mistake, and obviously that really cost them the game. And trust me, I took that shit seriously. Like that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I did not speak to any of my fucking. It was bad enough to the point where actually I had to walk away from my dugout and actually stayed by myself because I was hard on myself that year, and cost our team to go to the championship. And that was, trust me, I'm not the kind of person that be hard on myself, but I can be when I really need to. And at that time, I've realized, I fucked up.
Do you know what that is, man? That's accountability, bro. A lot of players don't have that shit.
Because it's like I had one of my couple teammates try to come talk to me and say, look, I just don't want to talk. Like that's just pretty much what I said. I just don't want to talk right now. Like I just wanted to be alone by myself and just see our season end like that, the way that it did. So that's twice that I've experienced being a second round exit. So it's like it was just I just was very unlucky, or sometimes we have not made the postseason at all at times. So I mean, it's
I feel like one of those years you'll freaking shock yourself and make a championship.
yeah,
I see that happening.
that's kind of the goal right now, is for me, anyways, because that's one of the biggest goals is trying to win a championship. Because we could have had one had not we lost. Let's be real, we lost to New Egypt, which still, let's be real, that still rubs me the wrong way. The fact we lost to a pathetic team, because let's be real, we had a really good team that year, and yet somehow find a way to fall short of the high school playoffs and try to win a state title. Which, if you looked at the first episode, and we talked about this before in the first episode, was the fact that our baseball team can't win shit since the 70s. Yeah, it's been tough.
The baseball team was ass when I was there.
And we had phenomenal players. I remember, Bob Trigeni, Nick D'Agostino, Sal Carosino, even though as a freshman was impressive to watch. I mean, we had a lot of good players, but for me, it never had, I would imagine, and see that, and I go back to Lutz Tyler's point. What if I could have been a crucial part to help this team go to the championship and go to the state titles? Because let's be real, because right now, as it stands, is usually our softball team that's winning championships left and right. They know they put up.
Dude, the freaking softball team was freaking goated, bro.
And
even when I was in high school.
I mean, trust me, if anyone goes to Gloucester High, if you see most of the trophy, if you go look at the trophy case, most of that's probably filled with softball stuff. And don't get me wrong, recently, I think the last couple of years, the basketball team, which has always been pretty decent, was actually always pretty good, and same with football. Out of pretty much 4 sports at Gloucester High pretty much can win titles. That's softball, track and field, football. Hang on. It's softball, track and field, football, and basketball. Almost got that in the wrong order.
Baseball, though, forget that.
That's going to take a while. I'm sorry. It's going to really take.
Now when I was in high school at Triton, football sucked. They were terrible.
I figured, because
they finally got out of their own way very, very recently, I
think. After you left.
After the fact that our class left, we were shit in high school.
Your baseball program stunk too. If I remember correctly. I remember being becoming JV. I remember.
Dude, they were shit, dude.
I remember whooping their ass at the JV level. Which
I don't even know if any of our sports programs are great at all. At all.
But I mean,
but oh my god, the baseball team, the football team were both shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like Tyler said too, or the fact that as a current athlete, well, even though let's bro, I don't have a body of an athlete, but it's the way I look. The way I can describe this league I'm in now is basically like a beer league. You can get up. It's pretty much like a Sunday morning league. You can get up every Sunday mornings and stuff like that. You'll be home by lunchtime. It's usually we have like a 3-hour time limit, basically.
It's basically just like a beer league.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, we've seen guys, that pitch at the college level and stuff like that, or, play at the college level, which we actually somehow are good at recruiting those two, our team as well. But yeah, I mean, ever since, it's kind of ironic how me and Tara said, 2 years doing YouTube and stuff like that. But at the time, we never, even during our time in high school, like we never thought being YouTubers was a thing.
Honestly, I was like dabbling in it a little bit. I did like shitty, back in 2016, 2017, I started trying to do YouTube. I'm just taking movies off my shelf and reviewing the shits.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy too.
And then there were shit videos, shit quality, everything was bad. I was bad at it. And then 2019, I was doing sports videos. I was doing highlight, not highlight videos, but recaps and shit. I'm starting to like this. I can see potential in those videos.
And
I think I'm kind of finding my niche there, but then then I quit YouTube again, and then
the pandemic
2020, I got bored.
Yeah,
I started doing podcasting on Anchor, that app. I reached a little bit of not viewers, but listeners. But then, like, I'm thinking, I peaked after a while. There was peak.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was starting to hit a valley. I'm like, I'm going to YouTube. Me and my buddy did the channel.
It's funny because I had this channel, and if you looked at the about section of this channel, like I say, yeah, it's been around since 2011, which that is true. But I didn't start content creation till January of 2021.
Yeah, it was more so like it was his channel, but he renamed everything.
I pretty much rebranded everything,
and then he started it, and then it popped off, and
then brought Tyler in about 6 months in.
It popped off even more.
Then we've been a couple. It's like we had to just have obviously not a rocky start, but obviously we had some our up and down moments for sure. I mean, I will admit that.
Yeah, we had our ups and downs. You know, me trying to find my niche and then finding it and then quitting and then coming back to it, and then we did hit like a rocky patch with the It's From Me podcast too, because it kind of peaked there.
Yeah,
because we had two separate channels. We had the It's From Me podcast channel, and then we had that. Then we merged. That got better.
Yeah.
Everything got better, and then now here we are.
Plus, we have our own network at the same time. The show
2 years in, we're over 1,000 subs. Hopefully, we'll reach 2,000 by next year.
That's good halftime, and that's the thing too, Tyler. And and think of this too. We've been through so many different networks. We learned a lot of some tips and tricks and stuff like that. And we got our own, our own after 2+ years.
And we're still part of the Hardcore Sports Network, too, which is really, really cool.
We're working with a lot of great. We got our own group, a great group, our good crew of guys here at the All Star Sports Network as well. It's
we've got our crew. We got 2 crews. We basically we're just friends with these guys.
Yeah, it's like you'd be surprised.
We basically grew into like a friendship with these guys.
It's
really, really cool.
Crazy. Like, as much as I know we hate the pandemic, but there's a lot of times that the pandemic
saved our asses.
Yeah, exactly. Without the pandemic, and stuff like that, this channel wouldn't be where it is now.
Yeah, dude.
Thank
you, COVID boredom.
Yeah, I know, with all the lockdown BS we had to go through. Yeah, trust me, I know it's annoying.
Boredom, you saved me, man. But hold on, hold on. So, but also, I want to thank the fans. Like, there was one instance where you showed me a screenshot of a fan commenting something.
Oh yeah,
and and that fan goes, "You guys are gonna make it big one day."
Yeah, I mean, we
will remember that, man. We will remember that.
I still remember that.
Yeah, we're gonna keep remembering that, and also
because it's look, we've let's bro. The one thing you do sometimes hate these spam comments where let's bro, take it to fishy websites. So you'll get those every so often.
That everywhere. ESPN gets those shits.
Yeah, even though their IG page, woohoo! That was that's a wild ride in itself, but
bro, they're not even real. They're fake fucking bots.
Yeah, I know. And
you know what they send you?
Oh,
fake fucking sexual Snapchat shit.
Oh, trust me, I get those a lot of time in the comment section. So I mean, that shit happens. But the fact that, and the reason and it's funny because it's still being like a current, not just a coach and a current player and stuff like that, and doing the way that this challenge kind of go on, it's just I kind of enjoy for what to do when I'm, because I treat this as this is pretty much a hobby of mine.
To me, honestly, it's the same here with me. I don't want to treat this as a job, because it's not. For me, it's fun. For me, it's I'm just doing this because I love doing this. I love entertaining people and
yeah,
entertaining the fans. And if we start getting money coming in,
we just donate it anyways.
Who gives a shit? I don't even want the money. We're giving that shit to charity. We always give it to charity.
Oh yeah,
like that little message with the money tied in. That 199 that we got, we're giving that to charity.
Oh yeah, we don't really look.
We're not gonna.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, you do have super chats, but we don't really like. If you want to give, look, that's up to you. Like we don't really.
Yeah, if you give us money, cool, whatever. If you don't, cool, whatever.
Hey,
look, just comment regularly. We don't care.
Like it's like we don't really ask for much. Like we try to put our best foot forward, But look, if you guys do say you'll give us super chats, because sometimes the way I look at it is, I've seen people where we get people give us just for our hard work alone, and try to. And
also look what's going to happen later this year in October.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to be doing charity streams.
Yeah, I think we're not
going to sit there and just like, oh, give us your money.
No,
we're not gonna care because any money that we get,
it's going right to charity. Or actually, now I just thought about this too. Why not try, since we have our own network and whatnot? I think about having like one thing where like any money we bring in, we could add that to like our own fund for the All-Star Sports Network. So if you need somebody's like a new mic or something like that, we could also apply to that as well. I just thought about that in the back of my. I never
give it, and also if anybody, and also we can also do a thing where if anybody on the Hardcore Sports Network needs like a new mic too, or anything new.
What's good? What's good?
What's good, bro? But yeah, we can give. We can buy things for the group. We can.
I mean, look, if you guys say, if you just need like a new mic and stuff like that, just let us know. I mean,
and we'll give you guys a new mic with the money that we acquire from
like this one. Shout out to, and that's the thing too. And the previous network we've been and shout out to our good buddy and also happy birthday to Key in the building as well. She's the one who actually got me this mic for the hard work I've been putting. That we've been
because at the end of the day, we're selfless people. We're not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, give me your money so I can spend it on myself and do things for myself." I don't care.
And that's why I find look, and that's the way it's too. Because right now the goal of the channel is trying to reach 10,000 subs. Yes, I mean I know that sounds like a bit of a high bar, but I think we can do it. Because the fact that we can also have
at this rate, we're growing at a rapid pace. I'm pretty sure we're at a higher subs than we were a week ago.
We're almost at 1,200 anyway on the main channel, but the reason why
so it's not really a high bar to achieve if we just keep working.
And my reason for that, because every time we do like streams something like that, even though if it's going to be monetized, but it's going to be monetized for our fundraisers, we could add fundraisers to our streams.
Yeah, we're not gonna keep the money.
Absolutely not.
There's no way in hell we're keeping the money.
So you ain't getting that, because for me, I already have a revenue stream that's coming from my job.
Yeah, and plus, me
this YouTube money.
I live with my family, so I don't really need for money.
And that's the thing, and that's why. I mean, shit. If we weren't monetized, I mean, we'll still do it for the fun of it, anyways. But the fact that this channel has come a long way, from a different name changes, different logo changes, had a couple of intros made and stuff like that. It's just it's crazy when we will reflect on it. Unless I still cringe. Oh boy! Even look, if you guys check out the older videos of this channel's history, yeah, you're gonna cringe like a motherfucker. I'm not kidding. That shit is just like, ugh. That's what I sound like.
I was doing videos for my regular channel with my name on it.
Yeah, that's.
If you look at those, they're bad.
Yeah,
they are bad.
Look, we're just harder. Look, we're just harder on ourselves doing YouTube content. It's like shit, and that's another thing too that we've, and where we try to dabble into new sports and stuff like that. You see a lot of before we get into the WNBA, which I'll talk about in just a second, you've seen like a lot of NFL and MLB pretty much for most of the channel's history for as long as you have seen it. But
yeah, we dabbled in some NBA stuff too.
And,
but
and the NBA as well. I forgot
it was predominantly just baseball and football.
And and I've looked at it. I mean, even during the NBA postseason, I mean, shit, or most highest stream in terms of the NBA content, so at 23,000, still at 23,000 views. And that was between the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. And
that video popped off too.
That's true. That really popped off. And this was at the time, and I had Dante on with me at the time.
You had Dante. And Dante was gloating the entire. Oh, I bring the ratings.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
He wasn't wrong because every stream he was on, he brought the ratings.
And the thing is, too, once you meet, trust me, we've been on the short end of Dante's trolling too, and we had to say shush.
Bro, after the World Series last year, he wouldn't shut up about it.
But he had the right to talk a lot of shit.
He had the right. Yes, he did. He had the right to talk shit.
But the dude's besides Key, him and Dante was another guy, awesome guy that we.
Phenomenal guy, dude. Phenomenal.
And actually get an outside perspective because he actually does live in Houston, which is actually is crazy. And the dude, all things diehard Houston, the Astros, the Rockets, and I mean, God bless with the Houston Texans, which I think they're going to be interesting to watch this year.
I think they'll be good. I think they'll be good this year. But anyway.
But the last thing we have seen a lot is the WNBA content. So. For those who are asking, why did we got into that? This all started about a couple years ago. I said, I'm gonna try give it a try because I played a lot of it on NBA 2K just for shits and giggles. But I've learned that yes, I mean the WNBA. I mean no matter how you look at it, I find it very entertaining. I mean I like how the women compete because let's be real, how the NBA is with their ticky-tack BS.
Here's the thing with the NBA, it's like a 12-point lead. And sometimes it swings the other way. And it's it goes from 12 points to 2 points, but it's not as often as the WNBA.
Nah, I mean,
there was a game I was watching. It was a 12-point lead.
Yeah.
I walk out of the room to go to the bathroom. I'm this game's pretty much over. I walk back into the room. No lie, right? It's a 2-point game. I'm
I think that might have been one of the streams, one of the Aces games that we've done together.
No, it wasn't. It was another game. It was a Mystics and somebody else.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it might have been Mystics or Sky or something like that. Maybe
it was Mystics versus Sky. Yes, it was Mystics versus Sky. And I walk out of the room to go to the bathroom. I'm thinking, piss break. This game's over. I come back, it's a 2-point game. I'm like, what the hell happened? The span of 5 minutes while I was in the bathroom.
And that's the thing too. It's and then you see, there were some games that because trust me, I mean, we just do it for the fun of it because I really like how these women compete. It's and that's the thing when you say watch the
bro, they're tougher because they go to the freaking rim a lot.
And people, it's just let's say, look, if you want to draw fouls, I do it the old-fashioned way, and that's kind of what the women do.
Now I get it. It's not flashy because they don't dunk, and
for me, I feel like dunk is an overrated skill.
For me, I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Cool, it looks cool that a person can dunk. Yeah, it looks cool.
Oh yeah.
It makes for great TV, yes, but I just want to see a competitive, good-ass game. I don't care who can dunk and who can't dunk and who can't shoot a three, who can shoot a three, and all this other shit. Give me a good game.
But overall, that is going to do it. But later on at 8 o'clock, we'll be back at it with Raphael for Friday Night SmackDown. Plus, with our Money in the Bank predictions at the scene.
Also, there is some stipulation going on with this prediction thing. Whoever wins their predictions for this pay-per-view will be
the champion of
the prediction champion.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yes, Cooley. I'm using your concept. The genius concept.
This is gonna be fun.
I love it, Cooley. so thank you for the concept. I'm
Even
shouting
though,
you out.
let's bro, you held that belt a little bit least than I.
Dude, you're basically Roman Reigns with that fucking shit.
Yeah, pretty on one pay-per-view I was. But
no,
yeah,
I'm talking about Ghoulie. Ghoulie was Roman Reigns.
Oh
with the
yeah,
shit
yeah.
at the time. But you literally robbed me. You robbed me. I snagged on one match. You robbed me.
Because I pretty much predicted most of that card being almost right, except for one match.
And then when shit blew in our faces with the whole ordeal and shit, you had to vacate your fucking belt.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm rematching this shit. I'm winning the inaugural friggin' championship.
We'll see. Wait, hey Tyler, it's not just me. You got not just me as competition. We also got Raphael as well in terms of the competition.
Rafi at those points a rookie, so I am not freaking scared of him.
I'm not gonna say
you.
Dude, you sound scared. You sound scared.
I'm not scared. I'm pissed off. I'm not scared. I'm just pissed off.
But it's gonna be fun.
You robbed me. You robbed me, and you know it. You robbed me, and you know it.
Yeah, for those who have seen the amount of times that we've done this, well, it's not our first concept, but if you looked at in the past that me, Tyler, or Key done. Work together and stuff like that. It's all in good fun, basically. That's just basically what it is.
Yeah, this is just fun. This is just banter.
It's like we wanted, because I think Ghoulie brought that idea, try to make it fun, make extra fun.
That shit was fun as hell.
Even though
I have to give it up to Ghoulie for that one, and
the fact that this is another thing too. This is what Ghoulie. He's another guy that I thought he's another good.
Tremendous dude. Tremendous dude.
Him and Dub are just too.
I still love that little short that he made when he was telling Dub that Frank Vogel was going to be the coach of the.
He said from really well chicken to shake and bake.
He was like, motherfucker. It looks off.
Or Tyler, I still had that video where he played those clips from the WWF.
This man, Ghoulie cracked himself up so much. He's on the fucking floor.
Oh, trust me. Like I still have that one video clip saved on my phone where he played a couple of the clips from everyone who remembers WWF Attitude from the good old.
Bro, I don't care. I dropped F-bombs a lot in this episode, so can you roll that freaking clip?
What I have two, so let's go with this one.
Got 2 words for you. Suck it. It's all about me, Mr. Ass, and your ass is mine! Get ready to suck it!
Pause.
Dude, trust me, when Ghoulie would start playing like various clips of that, or I think when Jazz was going to like full-blown Medea, oh boy, it's like, I'm an ass, man. When we started doing that, I'm done.
But here's the thing, Jacqueline. It was like every other word was bleeping.
Oh, yeah. Dude, she was cursing up a storm.
She was going off on people, bro. I'm like, God damn.
But
whoever pissed her off in the booth, God damn. You better apologize.
No. But that being said, man, this has been kind of fun to actually revamp. I would say this is our mini series, I guess you could call it.
I'm probably going to make it a regular series because I have a lot more stories that I.
I think we should have this is gonna be a lot of fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
A full blown show. So I kind of changed my mind on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like a 4-year. We have 4 different shit from high school.
And it's not just that. Even our YouTube journey as well. That what we encountered as well. We have a lot of stories from that. As well.
Definitely, man.
Well, with that being said, guys, appreciate anyone who's tuned in, and shout out to my boy Sports PSP, who actually follows me on Instagram with the $1 super chat and stuff like that. Like I said, we don't really ask for much, but if you just tune in, that's all we keep. That's all we care.
We don't care if you give us money or anything.
We don't really ask for that. With that being said, I got nothing else to add. It's been a lot of fun reliving or telling stories about us, and plus with a lot of shit too. That being said, this was Robert Edsar for the Philly Sports Talk Podcast and the All Star Sports Network. we'll see you guys on SmackDown.
Peace.